And I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. My wife was working at Yale at the time, and I'm confessing my sin, all right? I know that's not a really hip thing to talk about, but there I was on the edge of my bed at 9 o'clock in the morning or so, and I'm telling the Lord. And the more I drilled into this, he drilled into me. It was like, oh my, this is going somewhere. And the presence began to increase. And I'm telling the Lord, Lord, make me a man that loves my flock. Make me a pastor that people would want to follow, not because of me. Let me be an aquarium where people see something big swimming in me. And all of a sudden, on my left side, I look and my bedroom wall melted. And a man of fire walked through the wall. A 6-foot-tall orb of fire that scared me. And that flame walked right up to my face within, I'm going to say, 3 feet of me. And I'm looking into the fire of God. And everything in me got turned inside out. I saw all my gunk. I saw all the things that I wish I'd never said. Suddenly I hear them in my ears. Attitudes I never should have had. I think of things I should have said. It was like my whole life got turned inside out. And I began to cry and scream. Shrieked like a 12-year-old girl. Don't make me show you. I shrieked until the windows rattled. I buried my face. I couldn't look at it. I buried my face into my bed and screamed and tried to muffle, and the light still pierced me. Oh, no. I don't know how long he stayed there. But I knew if he stayed there any longer, I'd die. I said, Lord, I'm trembling just telling you this. I said, Lord, you're going to have to lift this. First of all, I'm beginning to hate me after what I saw. And secondly, he sees me the way I am. I thought, that thought flashed through my mind. My wife's going to come home and there's going to be ashes on the floor. And she's going to say, what's that? And she's going to vacuum me right up and not know, honey, it's me. I had an encounter. Trying to put a little levity here because I'm telling you, I was frightened. I was trembling. Everything in me. Just talking about it to you tonight. It's like coming back to me. And he slowly went right back through the hole in my wall. And it went back to my boring house. And I'm shaking my head and crying. And I said, what was that? I just wanted to get right with you, God. I just wanted to be close to you. I mean, like, that's really close. That's like, what are you going to do when it comes for you? You know, I mean, And then I remembered, I have to go to the grocery store and pick up milk. My wife gave me that duty before she left. Make sure you get milk at the store. Okay. I stumble out of my house, literally, fumble into the car, sit there for a moment, compose myself, saying, okay, am I sober enough to drive? Thankfully, it was the Stop and Shop we have up north. I don't know what your market's called here. But I made my way to the parking lot. Thank God for a close spot. And I, like a drunken man, I walk into the store. And as soon as I go through the electronic door, I get about 3 steps in. Boom. Somebody fell over. I kept on going. Why do they always put the dairy stuff at the back of the store? You never, like, put it right there where I get my ice cream and my yogurt and all the good stuff, you know? So I'm going all the way back, and every person I got near, poo, poo, poo. And I actually thought, how can these people have simultaneous heart attacks? And I wasn't thinking. And then just then the guy with the green vest, I see a head look down the aisle. We have an emergency on aisle 4. I back out. I realize now, oh, I know what this is. It's not me. It's the one that came to me. I made my way back to the car. I sat down in my car. I start the car. I go, where am I going to go now? Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to speak at chapel. We had a Christian school. We had 100 kids or so, and I'm Pastor Brian. I'm going to go speak at their chapel. I go, oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be the chapel. So thank God the church wasn't far from the store, and you weren't on the road. But I pulled into the parking lot. I opened the door of the hidden secret pastor door. You know, every church has it. You do not know where that door is. Well, I know where our door. And I went to that door. I opened it. I walked into the office. I had, I don't know, 5 or 6 staff at that time, full time. And I opened the office door. They all froze like this. Boom. Like I'd hit a pause button. That's weird. And I stand there for a moment. And finally, Jeff, he speaks up, says, Pastor Brian, what happened to you? I said, I don't know, but I got to go to chapel. The kids are waiting. I go down into the chapel. I open the door. A room about like this, 100 kids. As soon as I open the door and walk about 4 steps in, 100 kids hit the floor. Boom. All at once. You couldn't have knocked them over. You couldn't have made them do it. Some of them were shaking under the power. Some of them were being carried in chariots, they told me later. Some of them saw angels. Some were crying. Some of them said they saw a lion. Others, they saw the face of, it was so beautiful. I just sat on the steps, like right here. And I did, what do you do? You know? Oh, get up, little Johnny. Bad boy. Get up. You have to listen to Pastor Brian give you a boring 30-minute chapel period. I just sit down. The glory had come. Then the back door opens. The first mother coming to pick up her child sees all the kids shaking like bacon in a frying pan. And she starts, I can see it on her face. She starts marching down the aisle. What did you do to my, boom. She went right down. Didn't even get close enough to slap me, thank God. From that day forward, our church grew. The people smelled roses. The glory was so strong. We had so many people falling out in the parking lot, knocked down by the power of God, that neighbors called the police and said there must be a gas leak or a chemical, release or something, because I have all these bodies in the parking lot. That's before they get in the door. I could tell you all those stories, but my point is this. I got to get some sleep here tonight. There's a presence, a fire of His presence